moving our pews into the round. Today, we're going to talk about what it means to plant a seed, nurture that seed, and watch the blossom appear. In this place among these people, we understand each life as a seed planted, a seed that needs watering and care and love, a seed that, if nurtured, can grow into a unique and special shoot, and that shoot, if it continues to get the light and nutrients and love it needs, can become a beautiful flower. Each of you, each of us here, is a beautiful and unique life. No matter what stage of life we are at, we continue to need that watering and nurturing and loving to reach our full potential. We know that, and we strive here to offer that to each other. Today we honor the planting and the nurturing that we do here, that we facilitate here. And with the closing ritual of our worship this morning, the flower communion, we will honor the blooming of each of us. You may recall that the flower communion involves bringing a flower and taking home a flower. This morning we provided the flowers for you, and hopefully you chose one that sort of moved you, or whose color at least you liked. During the first hymn, which we're about to do, we're going to collect them to make life easier. Jane and I will come around and collect them from you, and we're going to put them into the center, and later on you'll have an opportunity to select a new one that speaks to you in a different way at the close of the service. With awareness that a seed planted needs nourishment and care, committed to nurturing the unique seed in each of us, delighting in the blooming all around us and within us, we gather for worship this morning. Please rise in body or spirit for our hymn, For the Beauty of the Earth. We're going to collect your flowers. By the Reverend Vanessa Southern, titled This Piece of Eden. The children in my church and I planted a garden this spring. Now in late summer, a tall sunflower stands over the patch, entertaining bees in its crown. There is a fountain of zinnias, and until recently, a cucumber plant with imperialist zeal. Little seeds have blossomed into parsley and tomatoes and other small seedling plants have dropped their roots deep and fast and seem ready to stay. I love this garden. It is a metaphor for so much. We started the garden to illustrate the biblical parable of the mustard seed, and it has served this purpose well. Strong, proud, and lush plants have grown from tiny, unpretentious seeds. They remind us of the ability of small things to surprise us and stand in for the faith that begins inconspicuously. It is odd to think that this patch of ground was once fallow, a trash dump for the local alley dwellers. In short order, it has gone from eyesore to asset. Listen carefully any day, and you can hear the neighbors cooing in appreciation as they walk by. If in our neglect of this piece of land they saw evidence of a church not fully rooted in this community, in our care of this garden, they may now see a love made manifest. And there is still more. We painted a wooden sign that proclaimed this the children's garden and hung it over the fence behind the garden. We decided not to secure it, though there has been some vandalism lately. It seemed ugly to wrap such a sign in chains. Instead, we chose to keep the paint and plywood handy for a replacement. 3 months later, it is the paint that has disappeared, put away for lack of use. The original sign has remained. It is a testament to the goodwill in which we chanced to believe. In addition, there is a plant of which neither the sexton nor I know the origin. Tall and fierce, it violates every aesthetics of this garden and would have been uprooted long ago had we not been intimidated by its conviction that it belonged. Just when we confirmed that this visitor was indeed a weed, it flowered. In gesture pure and simple, a wash of pale blossoms, it made its case. There was a place for the uninvited and the unplanned in this garden. The garden is a pure miracle. Our sexton has religiously tended to its needs. He waters it twice a day and has laid a metal fence to protect it against wayward feet. Moreover, it has suffered losses, like the little plants that wilted in a May heat wave. Still, for only a few seeds, the efforts of some dedicated but largely inexperienced planters and regular care and tending, there are color and life where once there were none. Where is some dry ground that you know of? This piece of Eden proves that we can bring the plainest soil to life. I'm going to invite up Jane, our religious education director, who will lead us through recognizing our teachers for their hard work this year.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Religious educator Maria Harris once asked a class to answer in haiku form the question, "What is teaching?" One student's response was, "We meet awkwardly. I invite you to walk. I find you dancing." Could anything better describe the first day of RE classes? Spirit play, we're on our way, Al, senior high youth, and how everything changed over the year. How have our children and youth danced? Well, most importantly, they danced because of 14 people in our congregation who spent Sunday mornings teaching in RE classes. A lot of the teachers notified me today that they couldn't come for various reasons, illness, soccer. So we're not going to be calling up a lot of people, but I see some of you are here. Well, Dean, I'm going to ask if you could help me. There's the basket of bulbs right here. And if you could just hold it out and let the teacher pick what bulb they like. So as I call your name, will you please come forward and accept our gift to celebrate your power of nurturing our children and youth and your power to get them to dance. Christine Clayton. Sonia Fujimori. I think she's one of those. Sophie Bourdon. Dean, you can pick one after your mom, okay? Linda Karen Nicholas is sick today. Lorraine Keegan. Peter Lavery, he had a dance commitment with his daughter. Tip Buckenville. Eliane Margarinas, she is sick with a bad cold. Dawn Norris. Janelle O'Brien. Susan Pete, who taught Bible to the children. Is Jerry here? He could use it. We'll make sure he gets one afterwards to take one to and Betsy Tomic for senior youth group. Thank you to all who taught our children and youth to dance.
In further recognition of the ways in which the teachers have provided a safe place for our children to plant and grow their religious ideas, I want to invite you into a responsive reading. You just have one line, which is why you have nothing written down, so you got to try to remember it. Your one line is, "It is my work, it is our work. Thank you for the gift of your presence." Can you do that? It is my work, it is our work. Thank you for the gift of your presence. Okay. I'll do this when it's your turn. It's important for our children to know that they are cared for, to know that they are part of a larger family, an important part of a bigger human picture.
It is my work, it is our work. Thank you for the gift of your presence.
It is important for our children to believe in themselves, to trust in themselves, to know that they can make a difference.
It is my work, it is our work. Thank you for the gift of your presence.
It is important for our children to know our story, to carry our principles into the world, and to live them in their daily lives.
It is my work, it is our work. Thank you for the gift of your presence.
It is important for our children to be comfortable in their faith and to respect the faith of others.
It is my work, it is our work. Thank you for the gift of your presence.
It is important for our children to experience the spirit of life, to feel a sense of awe at the grandeur of the world, and to live lives of empathy, compassion, service, and joy.
It is my work, it is our work. Thank you for the gift of your presence.
Thank you. And now if you'll please join us in a spirit of meditation and prayer. Spirit of life, we breathe deeply this morning to ground ourselves on this earth, in our bodies, in our community. We breathe deeply and settle ourselves. Feet on the floor, body relaxed. Soul finding its way to the center. Breathe deeply and feel the solid ground beneath you. Sometimes we feel adrift. Drift from the earth, from our own deepest heart. apart and alone, separate from the things that matter most. Sometimes we forget that where we are planted, we have roots growing strong and solid. Breathe deeply and imagine the center of you, deep in your belly, filling with breath and light and love. Let yourself find your way back to your deepest part. We breathe and we remember who we are in the eyes and minds and hearts of those who love us. We breathe and we remember who we are in our truest heart and mind and soul. We breathe and we remember all that we hope to become as we allow ourselves to live our lives fully, centered, grounded, planted and nurtured and blooming. Take a deep breath. And as you wish, remain in that place of deep breathing, or join in singing number 396. We move into a time of honoring the work of nurturing, of what it takes to grow a seed into something more. And we start with the poem Mulch by Linda Hasselstrom. Mulch is a layer of organic matter used to control weeds, preserve moisture, and improve the fertility of the soil. You will not find naked soil in the wilderness. I started cautiously. Newspapers, hay, a few magazines. Robert Redford stared up between the rhubarb and the lettuce. Then one day, cleaning shelves, I found some old love letters. I've always burned them for the symbolism, but the ashes, gray and dusty as old passions, would blow about the yard for days, stinging my eyes and bitter on my tongue. So I mulched them, gave undying love to the tomatoes, the memory of your gentle hands to the squash. It seemed to do them good, and it taught me a whole new style of gardening. Now my garden is the best in the wilderness, and I mulch everything. Bills, check stubs, dead kittens and baby chicks. I seldom answer letters, I mulch them. With the plans I made for children of my own, photographs of places I've been and a husband I had once, as well as old bouquets and an unsatisfactory lover. Nothing is wasted. Strange plants push up among the corn, leaves heavy with dark water, but there are no weeds. This morning, we are offering you 3 stations to visit in the sanctuary. We have never done this before. You can try to make it to all 3. You can stick it out at one the whole time. We'll spend probably about 10 minutes, give or take, engaged in this. These stations, as we're calling them, are designed to honor the struggles and the hopes and the joys. They are reminders of the way that we nurture community, nurture our relationships, nurture each other's sense of belonging and fulfillment. Over here, you will see a bunch of candles. We invite you to visit this table and light a candle for something that you are struggling with today. You can speak it out loud or keep it inside, but you can light the candle as a way of honoring and lifting up something that is on your heart or mind today. Over there, there is a glass container, and there are slips of paper and pencils. We invite you to write on a piece of paper your deepest hope. It can be for yourself, for the community, for the world. You can sign it or not, and then you can drop it in the container. You can fold it up, you can make origami, it doesn't matter. Drop it in the container. We're going to seal that container, and it will stay sealed until such time as Jane and your leadership decide to open it. Okay? Maybe 6 months, maybe 2 years, and you'll be able to see what today this snapshot of this community held as its highest hopes. Okay? And then over here, we'll sort of shift the chairs a little if we can. We have paper on the wall here, and there's markers, and I think there's markers in there, right? There's some markers in there. On this piece of paper up on the wall, we invite you to draw a picture or write words about something that is bringing you joy right now in your life. Okay? You can head to any station. I'll do a little ding ding when it's sort of a third of the way through, so if you're trying to make it everywhere, you'll know. And for anyone who might have difficulty making it to the stations, we will come to you with a candle or paper or whatever you need, okay? We'll check in with you and make it happen. Okay, so you're gonna have to, okay. Go for it. Now. Yes, right now. Right now. to here.